focus on the consumption end of it.
That is what we're talking about. We're live. Yes, Jay, we're all about the consumption of beers, aren't we?
That's right.
Matthews of Beer Reviews with the company. Here on a Wednesday. Band played a show Saturday. We're technically Sunday at midnight. It went really well, so we're going to take this week off since we played like 3 shows in a row on every weekend. So here I am with Jeremy Vincent of, oh my God, Arkansas. Holy crap.
Arkansas. Hello, guys.
I was going to say Oklahoma, but that was not right.
No.
Michael. No. Michael Kornoff, Brooklyn, New York.
Hello, everybody.
William Kepley, special guest. Yo, what's up? Yeah.
Right. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
And,
William.
as always, Ronald J. Terrio, Louisiana Beer Reviews. You've seen him. Go check him out. Good channel. Wild card. Bring a beer. Let's drink it. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. It's silly. It's fun. It's whatever you want it to be. Wild card Wednesday. Jeremy, what are we drinking this fine evening?
Yeah. Well, I am drinking the Mind Haze IPA.
Yeah.
6.2%, 40 IBUs, New England style IPA from California.
That sounded very official. I like it. Yeah. All right. We got Michael Komarov. What did you bring it to? It's got to discuss this evening.
This is Brooklyn Brown Ale.
Ooh, I don't think I've had
I
that.
like that beer.
5.6%. They don't publicize the IBUs on the website. Somebody might know. I do not.
No.
It's been around for a while.
Cool. Excellent.
Good long while, man.
Jay Terrio, Louisiana Beer Reviews. What are we drinking this evening? Good, sir.
Well, I'm drinking an old classic, but this recipe is not, but only 12 years old. It's Schlitz beer.
Yeah, all right. That one's good.
The beer that made Milwaukee famous. And the percentage is, well, they're still doing a little spring cleaning, I guess. But it's somewhere around 4.6% alcohol.
4.7, I think. Right around PBR is 4.74, and it's right around that range. But spring cleaning is taking a while to get done.
Right, years. And I have my Schlitz
Nice.
Pilsner glass. Isn't that a beautiful glass?
Schlitz, the beer that made Tyler Mansell move out of Milwaukee. Oh, no. I hope not, Tyler. He will join one of these days. It's just he has 3-hour time difference, so he starts at 4 in the afternoon, which still could be
Yeah, 4:30 could be doable, but it could be problematic.
Yeah. So William Kepley in the house. What are we drinking today from your side of the screen? Yeah.
The beer I brought tonight wasn't one I wasn't going to bring at first, but this is a beer that right now could really use some love. It took a very terrible beating on a video a couple of days ago. Probably the biggest upset since Chaminade defeated Ralph Sampson's Virginia Cavaliers.
Holy moly. All right. Wow.
Or a 16 seed beats a 1 in the NCAA tournament like happened last year with UMBC over Virginia. I have a Budweiser.
Now, whose video beat it up?
As he speaks.
Jay Terrio.
Right.
Oh, no.
The former king of beers.
Oh, who's the
Jay's been beating up Budweiser. I never saw that review. I have to look at it.
Well, it lost to Busch in a taste test.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I can see
That
that.
fiasco. We shouldn't bring up those fiascos on the internet.
They're not fiascos. They're fiascos.
What's the alcohol percentage of good old Bud?
Is that 5%, maybe?
I'm bringing it out of hiding tonight. It's been depressed for a few days with Budweiser, but I'm bringing it out of hiding. It's time to get back in circulation. I mean, you're still the number 4 selling beer in America. Come on, I give it the old Stuart Smalley pep talk. You know, you're good enough. You're strong. You're flavorful enough. Let's go. So Budweiser is in the house.
Now, William, that video, you could see the expression on my face, the utter shock and dismay. And I thought to myself, I was trying to think real fast, how can I delete it? But you know, it was just bad. But I was trying to be honest, you know.
Yeah,
You're
that's all that matters at the end of the day. Very
And
good.
I'll say credit where credit is due. One of the few people that will actually do these things online and risk maybe making up fool of themselves occasionally. But I'm credit to you because you're willing to do it. It's not easy. I've done it myself. It is not easy. So credit for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anything I say about it is good natured as far as the Bush defeating Budweiser.
Yeah.
But
I would have put good money on that one.
I extended the invitation to this examination to anybody that normally joins on the Craft Beer Pours channel. I sent out a link to those folks on
Good.
Google Hangouts. So if any of them want to join, click on that link inside of Google Hangouts. So
Yeah,
cool.
because we could get Ronnie S. and Shane and all of the guys.
That's right.
Shane said something else might be coming up. He'd like to come, but he had other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the beer that I'm bringing today is, I was going to join Stout Sunday. However, it was a really late night and I slept through that damn thing. So I'm going to drink this one now. Stout, 7.8% from the Lamplighter Brewing Company of Cambridge, Massachusetts. This is called the Brunch. Brunch beer, again, 7.8%. And they are using, I can read the full thing a little bit later, but they're using malted and flaked oats, lactose, and the website doesn't say, or the can, but they're also using 2 types of coffee in this one. So very interesting.
I hope it's not too strong. You'll be up all night.
Well, I'm not worried about that. I'm not too worried.
Toss it, turn it, run into the restroom because you drank all the beer.
Oh, we'll see how it goes. But I guess we can start with our good buddy Jeremy Vincent and the Mind and Haze IPA. So Jeremy, tell us before you get started on your individual examination here, have you had this Mind Haze IPA, and what do you think of Firestone Walker beers going into tonight's examination?
You know, Michael had on Stout Sunday, he had this Firestone Walker beer. He had the Nitro Milk Stout, I think.
Mocha.
And I said, well,
Mocha.
I'm trying
Mocha
to-
Merlin.
Oh, what's that? What it was? That's right,
Mocha
Merlin.
Merlin.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, so I said I've got to keep up with Michael again. You know, I'm trying to keep up with Michael here. So I tried to drive all the way up to the co-op, but they wouldn't let me in. So I had to come back through Missouri, and I picked this up. And it's really hazy, as you can see. Really, really, really hazy, and lightly carbonated. Looks like.
Wow.
It looks the pot.
It looks like juice.
Yep.
The juice
It may taste like juice. We'll see here in a second. It's like a quarter finger head, white foam, good lacing, looks like. As far as the smell goes, let's go for this. Let's see. I'm getting some, definitely right off the bat, I'm getting a lot of orange, like orange peel, getting a little pineapple. Let me see real quick. Getting a little bit of grapefruit. I know I say it on a lot of these IPAs, but it's a lot of grapefruit in this one too.
Don't feel bad.
Not a lot of piney notes at all. It's more of a, like I said, a New England style, which is a good thing if that's what you're wanting.
Sweet.
Let's go get it. Let's get a taste on this one then.
Cheers to Jeremy.
Cheers.
Happy Wednesday, yeah. Happy Wednesday.
Oh wow, this is, you can tell it's low IBU. It's really not any bitter. It's not bitter at all, hardly. I'm tasting a lot of tropical fruits in it. A bit floral kind of also. I'm tasting a lot of tangerine for some reason. I don't know if that's what they were going for. You know, when you get your lemon, orangey flavor, and grapefruit as well. There we go again, the grapefruit. Still got that grapefruit taste. And just a little bit of hops, but not too much. Definitely not a West Coast IPA type hop. Very drinkable though. And like I said, it's just a real good balanced beer for a New England style IPA. So far, I like it.
So what are your, when you go for an IPA, what are your kind of preferences as far as those kind of beers are concerned? Do you like it really hoppy? Do you like it less hoppy? Do you like it more West Coast? Do you like it more tropical?
I like any beer equally, but if I'm going for, it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I like a lot of the Stone Brewing, real hoppy, in your face, bold hops, but also I like the New England style IPAs where it's kind of subdued, more of a, fruits, tropical fruits and stuff like that in it. So this one's really good for New England IPA. I've only had a couple of them, and I can't even remember what IPAs they were.
You're in an
I have to look that up.
All right. Mind Haze.
It's good.
Excellent. Well, you keep sipping and thinking, and we will be back shortly for the final rating of Mind Haze with Jeremy Vincent. But until that time, Michael Komaroff's got a beer he's got to tell us all about, the Brooklyn Brown Ale.
Okay, I looked on the side of the bottle, and it's almost 9 months old. I think for brown ale, that's okay. 7/19/18. So it's not newly brewed, but with your darker malts, it lasts much longer than your hoppy beer. So it should not be in any trouble.
We must go to live breaking news quickly.
Oh, he's
breaking news! Breaking news! Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, gentlemen. William, welcome back. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey, Yods.
Awesome.
Hey, Yods, the beverage ramble.
Yes, beverage ramble. That's right.
What are we rambling about today on the beer?
Today I am drinking Dos Equis Ambar.
Oh, yeah.
From the my Spanish is not good, so I'll call it the CCE or CCM brewery, based in Monterrey, Nuevo Mexico, now owned by
Heineken. Nuevo Leon.
Nuevo Leon, Mexico. Now part of Heineken International. This is, of course, the same company that also owns Sol, Carte Blanca, Tecate Light, and Dos Equis Especial. But of the Dos Equis brand, this is the one I prefer drinking the most.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right.
From our Frontenac Montezuma.
Yes. CCM. Yeah.
Good. We will get to Dos Equis Ambar very, very shortly. We must go back to our regularly scheduled program and Brooklyn Ale. Michael?
Okay. As you can see, it has kind of a tan head, not a large head, and it has subsided a little bit, but it's holding up. It's staying at this level now, and it's dark brown in color. Let me give it a nose.
Your nose.
You're getting a barrage of roasted malts, various roasted malts, and you can get a little bit in the background of hops, but it's certainly way in the background. It's not a primary part of the nose, but you're getting really roasted malt. Maybe a hint of chocolate in the background as well. Let me give it a taste.
Once again, cheers.
Cheers. I forgot.
Okay, I
forgot.
The taste follows the nose. You're getting a lot of roasted malts in the taste profile as well. It's got kind of a medium mouthfeel. It's not heavy, but it's more than a light mouthfeel. It's medium, and the taste is fairly nice. I'm enjoying it. Getting a little bit more of that chocolate, maybe a little residual coffee in the background, but it's not a primary taste as well. It's quite good. Enjoying it.
Sounds like good beer.
Yeah. So for that beer, what do you have you had that beer before?
Yes, I've had it multiple times, and I'm actually a fan of brown ales. I know some people aren't. Some people who are more stout fanciers find them to be a little bit too light. But I find if the profile has enough of the roasted malt in it, it can be like a mini stout
Yeah.
or a porter, kind of. But, you know, it's 5.6, a little bit more than sessionable. But this one happens to be very well brewed in my estimation.
What's your price point for said beer?
This was $1.51 in the food co-op for a 12-ounce bottle.
All right. Well, damn.
And
Pretty
That's a good price.
what am I saying? Crisp, clean, refreshing, all those things.
It's very good. It's refreshing even for a darker beer.
and they're using they're using 6 barley malt varieties
Wow.
and 3 hop varieties.
That sounds pretty damn good.
6 barley malts, 3 hops. Not bad, eh?
So I'm also saying that whatever they put together is very well balanced. It molds well together.
Damn.
Combination is good.
Shit.
Enjoying it.
Sip on that beer. Think about that. Get it in your mind what your rating is. And we will be right back to Michael Komarov very shortly. Thank you, Michael. We have controversial. Oh, no, we don't have the controversial beer yet. We're getting to that controversial. Jay Terrio and Louisiana Beer Reviews. Take it away with your beer, sir. Schlitz.
There's enough controversy surrounding Schlitz to fill up a whole
Yeah,
evening.
there is. I'm in there.
But anyway, that would go back to around 1976. But here is very deep gold. It's darker than your typical fizzy yellow stuff. You can see that it is fizzy golden stuff. I think you can see that
Yes.
in this beautiful Schlitz glass, which I bought at a sale very cheaply. All right, but anyway, I have many Schlitz glasses. I like them. You want to know the price? I'll tell you the price. I got a 6-pack for $4.81.
That's good.
Pint cans. The date now, it's saying F08. Now, what brewery is 08? I don't know.
That's Trenton, Ohio.
Trenton, Ohio. Well, I knew Michael would know because he memorized them. I know some of them. So Trenton, Ohio. Now, it had some pretty good head action going. That's dissipated as we discussed the products. Got a Best Buy date, guys. That doesn't have a born on date, but
Gotta have the day, guys.
Hey, Gregory.
all right, they use the letter for the month, I think, or something like
The
that.
letter is the day.
The day, that's right.
Yeah.
Ah,
A, B, C, D, E, F would be Saturday.
oh.
Mm.
Yeah, mine is F. So
A, B, C, D, E, Friday. I believe that's A, B, C, D, E, F would be Saturday, the 6th day of the week.
Yeah. Good going. Breweries making it easy for consumers to know when their beer was packaged.
not really, because how many people are gonna? All right.
Anyway,
Now the aroma is it's malty and it's grain. It's like barley, and it's just breadiness. Okay, white bread crust. Let's not get too complicated, because it isn't complicated.
The ABV J is what, 4.5, 4.6, right, for Schlitz?
About 4.7.
oh,
The same thing for Dos Equis and Bar. So
nice.
go ahead, Jay.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, you're right. Now, it's kind of a little bit of a hop spice. You know, that little oil. Now, for about 2 years, I think it was 2014 to 2016. I was complaining, and some people might have watched those videos where I was saying, "What did they do? They turned Schlitz into an IPL. It's not supposed to be an India Pale Lager, but I think they watched my videos, and Pap said, he said it tastes like an IPL, so they dialed it back to where it was supposed to be. Now, and I want to thank Paps for doing that, but it still has some of those IPL qualities, but it's not as profound. You get some citrus of some various types. You get the sweet grain, not overly sweet bread. So think of bread with a back note of citrus. It's a medium body. It's not light. The finish is pretty crisp. This is actually one of the more flavorful American adjunct lagers that you can get, and perhaps maybe the most flavorful. I don't think I would get it confused with any other macro mass-produced lagers in a taste challenge, but I've eaten those words before, and also very tragically. Now, are you taunting me? No, I think
Taste buds don't lie. They don't.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I think.
All right, Jeremy. Eat.
Well, I think I like it because I've been drinking it for so long. I mean, I wouldn't be buying it if I hated it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the price is right.
Do you find that Schlitz almost has I'm trying to figure out how to describe it, like a roasted kind of a corn note to it? That's what I find a little bit.
Yeah. Like if you go and you see people roasting corn on the cob on a grill, sort of a non-buttered, non-salted popcorn thing.
Yeah, that's what
Michael asked me on text, is Schlitz among your favorite macro lagers? It may be my favorite. The only ones that would probably rival it or perhaps beat it would be the Coors Extra Gold Lager, which don't even try to look for that, and the Red Dog, which was evacuated from Louisiana in 2014 to my great dismay. And I don't think it could match up to Michelob, the original Michelob lager, the all malt, because that's all malt, no corn or rice. But now this, I'm not sure about, but that sounds like a challenge to me. And it probably sounds like one to you all. All right.
Unfortunately, for Schlitz, like for us, it disappeared here. I think 2011, 2012 in Mobile. Old Milwaukee Light. It came, it disappeared. It came back, it disappeared, and now it's completely gone. The last I saw it was in 2016. So
yeah, it's still doing all right over here.
Jay, is that the New Orleans Limited?
no, that's my train over here in
That's the
Mobile.
Birmingham, the Mobile Limited.
It might be headed to Mobile. Might be headed to New Orleans. New Orleans. So
That's that Schlitz beer coming in on. They're shipping you some right now.
Bullet train.
Yeah.
let's hope so.
Draft.
Love train.
No, anyway, we only get cans of Schlitz around here, though, just to let you know. No more bottles for whatever bizarre reason. Jean is on the railroad track, and it does run from here over to Mobile. And so Interstate 10 also runs from here to Mobile. So we're connected.
How long a drive is it along Interstate 10 from where you live to Mobile?
Well, if you didn't get caught up in any kind of traffic, it'd be about 2.5 hours.
About
That's
there.
not far.
That's pretty good.
That's not
2
bad.
hours. See, I'm lucky.
2.5 to 3.
See, I'm lucky here in Mobile. I could get to New Orleans in 2.5 hours. I could get to Atlanta about 4.5 hours. Pensacola within an hour. Birmingham within like 2 hours. Montgomery 2 hours. Birmingham in 3 hours. So it's the best of both worlds living here in Mobile.
Except for
You have the day and you're close to the Gulf and you can go fishing.
Yes.
you get fried shrimp, you get gumbo shrimp, you get shrimp, barbecue shrimp. Okay.
Yes. Hey, man. Look, the seafood down here is awesome.
I would like to point out that Eric very often ridicules me for saying y'all. I just want to put that out there on the internet in case, things go down later.
Are.
I say y'all too. I say y'all, and I've been saying y'all before I moved down here, and I'm from Jersey originally. So hey, y'all.
It means you all. It means all you people. All right, y'all. It's time to get nice.
Give me the rap.
All right, y'all. It's time to get nice. Go, William.
Well, maybe it's time to get nice. This beer's got a lot of controversy William's about to speak of. So, to this beer, William.
John doesn't even know what this is yet. John is about to get excited.
Ooh, what? All right. Heard it live, John. Get excited.
William, tell John what you have. He's going to get excited. I promise.
I've got a Budweiser.
Oh yeah.
Which
All right. King of beers. Yes, sir.
Supposedly king of beers, right?
one time, Schlitz and Budweiser battled it out for beer supremacy until Schlitz made some terrible business decisions and went in the tank, literally and figuratively.
Mm.
They studied that in business schools about the incompetence of Schlitz, the way they
Where was PBR in that? Where was PBR?
at that time, and it was probably would be third or fourth on the list at that time. Back in the 70s, PBR was considered like a redneck beer. Now it's more of a sort of a hipster beer. But I know some people I hung around with when I grew up wouldn't touch a PBR with a 10-foot pole. That was people back then who had tattoos and chewed a lot of tobacco and stuff like that. It had a very bad reputation. PBR did at one time. It's amazing how become a hipster beer without any help really from Pabst. I don't think they get any credit much for transforming that beer. It was just a fluke circumstance. I think sort of like some of these upsets in sports. It just happened.
Right.
But anyway, I brought the Budweisers and some TLC, and we'll open it up and see if it pours out or if it hides. We'll see what happens. Here's that wonderful sound.
Hey, wait a minute! You got the king of beers. You don't have to be ashamed of anything.
And
We're only worried it may taste like Bush.
That's what he said. Wait a minute.
I actually like Bush beer better.
So did Jay.
I know, but I do. I like it better.
Not to get off topic, guys, but I kind of wish that, there's some clever advertising that they've done, but then again, some not so smart decisions that Anheuser-Busch have recently done. When they were promoting, Budweiser, during the Super Bowl back in 2015, how 130 something plus years, the king of beers, you could sniff your peach beer. I know they were making a shot at the craft beer guys, and I thought that was a very clever ad, and how they were promoting their beer itself. But some things they've done recently, I'm just scratching my head and saying, really, you all really don't have to do that. But
now we're into Dilly Dilly. Dilly Dilly is their big advertising campaign.
Bud Light, Bud Light.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's let
I'm not going to go there. Back to William.
As you can see, the Budweiser is more of a pale straw color compared to the Schlitz and more golden. It definitely is lighter. And one thing I've noticed sort of odd is in certain light conditions, some of the Budweiser or AB products, the lagers have a sort of a greenish tint to them.
Yeah, I've talked about that.
It's sort of odd, but I can see it right now.
Greenish tint.
It does sort of a light lime greenish tint.
I was just gonna say, key lime maybe, yeah.
I've said that for years.
Yeah, I noticed that when I started, and
I get you on that. Yeah.
Nice head. It's still about a one finger. A lot of carbonation. Not surprisingly, I think Budweiser is more the more crisper tasting adjunct lagers. And as far as the aroma, up front is like the pale malts. It's what I get out of it. And I mean, it's, these adjunct lagers, there's a certain taste profile and a certain smell. I mean, there are variations among them, but they all sort of are branches on the same tree. So I'll take a sip and we'll see. Budweiser on the comeback.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Budweiser.
Cheers.
You know what? I'm sitting here thinking, looking back, I said, I wonder what it was like back in the day. The battles of beer, of lagers, Budweiser and Schlitz and PBR and Miller High Life and and if you want to throw in Genesee and lager or maybe
Rheingold or Schaefer.
Rheingold, exactly. Lowenbrown. What was like back in the day? Battle of the beers.
We got to let William do his tasting.
Right.
But
I'm sorry.
Sum it up in one word. It was like today. Ruthless. Okay.
Quick cheers to Mr. William Kepley for joining.
Cheers.
Welcome back, William.
I
think if any of the lagers adjuncts would define the crisp, clean, refreshing label, Budweiser fits the bill on that.
Yeah.
Whatever you think about it, it's very refreshing, and the crispness of it. I've noticed it not quite the hot bite of some of the other adjunct lagers. I've noticed at the end of the sip. I mean, I'm on a clean palate. I haven't eaten anything recently. It doesn't have that. Some of the adjunct lagers have a little bit of that hot, lingering aftertaste.
Yeah.
Not getting as much of that with the Budweiser as some of the other ones. But like, you know, you got the pale, the taste follows the nose. You got the pale maltiness of it. Like I say, the crispness, and it's just I'm not a regular Budweiser drinker. Actually, for someone who's consumed as many of these adjunct lagers as I have, Budweiser hasn't ever been in my regular rotation of drinking beers. So, you know, I've never drank that many, and it's and I think it's confirmed tonight that it's a decent adjunct lager, but there's always a few, the Schlitz among them, that I would turn to first.
Yep.
The king of beers, the Mystique, whatever it's had over the years, doesn't, you know, it's a pretty good beer, but like I say, there's always a few others that I would reach for first. And considering the premium price point of the Budweiser, that tends to play into it also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shop for price on these beers. And to me, it would be hard to justify the Budweiser over probably a half dozen others, all of them costing less. For example, the Miller High Life is their flagship beer, yet they price it at a sub-premium level.
You saw that video.
Now they do.
So,
Now they do.
so that's another feather in their cap. And I think yesterday I drank a Miller High Life, and it does have a little bit more of a hop presence that sort of lingers in the finish of the sip, especially if you're drinking a beer without eating something. Sometimes the little subtleties get lost if you're chomping on a pizza while you're drinking an adjunct lager. I mean, you know,
All right.
two sort of cancel each other out in a sense as far as the tasting goes. But this, you know, doesn't quite have that. Nor does it have I think the banana note, which gives the Coors Banquet a somewhat of a different persona. It's also very crisp, clean, refreshing, but I think I would pick a 5% ABV and similar calorie count. I would probably pick the Coors Banquet beer over this. And I definitely would pick the Coors Extra Gold and the Red Dog, which I still have a couple of in the fridge. I did a few Budweiser versus Red Dog taste tests. To me, the Red Dog is one of the five, you know, the 5 hop varieties they use and such. I mean, to me, it's a diamond in the rough, a needle in a haystack, but 99.9% of people can't get it. So, you know, why talk about it? In a sense?
Right. That's their business model. Make sure people can't get their best stuff. So,
it's amazing. Sometimes these companies, they sort of succeed in spite of their own incompetence or bungling.
Yeah.
Just like the airline industry, you know?
Right.
We used to fly in your city. Guess what? We're gone. We're going to another city. So if you want to fly with us, drive maybe 2 hours away to get on our plane.
But if Michael Komarov were to go to the store and say, "I want an adjunct lager beer,"
he would not do that.
would you be choosing?
I would pass out if he did that.
It's not in my style.
Of note, the Budweiser has 31 more calories than the Busch, and it's 0.7% more ABV. So there's a difference there, but
remember what I said in my challenges now. I said you have to entertain the idea that it could be a case of me not knowing what I'm doing. Right? Didn't I use that? Now, Mr. William, didn't I mention that disclaimer numerous times?
Right.
Jay, I didn't watch the video, but what was it about the Busch that made it better than the Budweiser? I'm just curious.
Just couldn't tell the difference.
No.
But they were even. They were exactly the same thing.
How did the Busch win?
Real similar.
Because the Busch is much cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In my mind, you see, this is the problem with these things, because in theory, this is why you have to look at it this way. In theory, you'll say, no, Budweiser will be clearly better. They're using a combination of 2-row and 6-row barley malt and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But then you do the blind taste test, and then things start to break down because Bush does use the halitol, the Tettnanger, and the Strisselspalt that's imported from Moravia. They have their own. Actually, this is interesting. Anheuser-Busch has their own hop farms in Moravia. That's in Europe. So you say, well, 898, a 12-pack, that would be just nothing, you know. But so I was doing that. I was trying to do the protocol, going through the whole examination, you know, with all the rigmarole that I bring into it also, which irritates people no end, I'm sure. You know, kidding around and making jokes and all. But usually that's doing that to buy time because I'm getting nervous. But
on a Friday night, right?
Huh?
On a Friday night, right? Oh.
Oh no! I do these challenges at any hour, usually in the afternoon. And you know what I'm saying is, I'll start tasting them, and then I'll say to myself, "Uh-oh," you know. People can read my eyes. Do they say, "I could tell you were thinking, I can't really tell these apart." Now what do I do? Let me try to stall and talk about Egypt or something. But so as it went on, I started to get more confident. I said, "This one's clearly cleaner. It has a rice note. It has all these characteristics, and it is the king of beers." And William watched it, and I went on this long thing about China and the different degrees of gravity, Budweiser's in China, and all this stuff. And I thought, well, okay, you retrieved the situation, you rescued the video. It was getting a little scary, and I thought, okay, I feel good about this. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling like Mary Lou Retton in 1984 in Los Angeles.
Jesus.
So then I lifted up the glass and I looked, and it said Bush, and I was like, I couldn't go that. I couldn't get over it. I just spent 12 minutes talking about Budweiser and how confident I was, and then when I saw Bush, I just lost all hope.
But there was a whiskey video where you did the Kentucky Gentleman scored an upset victory. I remember last year.
Hadn't been deleted yet, unfortunately.
or piling on, I might as well mention that also.
Oh.
We can go on for days.
Yeah, I'll say this real fast. That's comical that he brought that up because there's nobody probably on the internet who's attacked and maligned and disparaged Kentucky Gentleman more than me. Well, there's probably others, but I mean, I've really gone after it. I abused it, misused it, and then I did that taste challenge with Kentucky Gentleman of all things, and then what a stunning development that was. But
I want to get back to
all right
very shortly for his excellent final thoughts and ratings on that beer. But we do have this guy over here, Jean Henderson Pierre. He's looking ready to go for
Beverage Ramble.
Ambar. You want to give us a little?
Oh, and Eric, before we do the scores, after Jean, the Beverage Ramble does his. Before we do the scores, I'll read the comments, and I'll go fast.
Sure, good idea. But yes, Jean, quickly give us your history with the Dos Equis Ambar and then your little examination.
Okay. Dos Equis Ambar, 4.7% ABV. It is a Vienna lager. Roasted malts, very enjoyable. It has a bit of a sweetness to it. I've always preferred this one of the Dos Equis brand. I've always preferred this over the Especial. I know the commercials, you know, stay thirsty, my friends, whatever. And I think that commercials have kind of stopped being run on TV right now because the original guys moved on and they hired some other guy. And I guess he was not received well by the public. Man. And they tried to bring in Rob Riggle, the comedian. And I guess that didn't work either with the other guy. So, but anyway, a very good Vienna lager, very enjoyable. Has a little bit of a roasted malt, a little hint, not much sweetness, a bit of sweetness, a little caramel. If I'm getting to this, but overall, a really, really good beer. Vienna lager, good with a nice juicy steak. Unfortunately, just a while ago, I just had some crawfish, and maybe I should have had a Busch or maybe a Budweiser, but overall, this is a very good Vienna lager.
Hell,
compare this with a Beta Amber Ale or maybe Sam Adams Boston Lager. I probably would pick this. But the only problem is that the price point of this is a little bit high.
Yeah.
It's about maybe what for a 6-pack of this is I think about at certain stores, unless it's a special,
$8.99. Yeah.
$8.99 usually. And if you rarely see it for a 12-pack, and this is rare, it's about the same price as a Heineken, maybe 13 or 14 bucks for a 12-pack. But overall, a very good Vienna lager.
Nice, concise review, and we will get back to you on that nice, concise rating in a little while. I will try to be much briefer than I normally am on my particular beer.
You never go past 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, once again, we'll try to do at least seconds, not minutes. Brunch beer, breakfast stout from the Lamplighter Brewing Company of Cambridge, Massachusetts. 7.
Eric, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Is the brunch name a takeoff on Maine Brewing, which has all their different daily meals as their beers, or is this just happens to be brunch?
I believe it just happens to be brunch, but I can see why in the holy of hell you would say that.
Yeah, look at all those items.
It's a hearty breakfast stout brewed with an abundance of oats, malted and flaked, lactose, and 2 types of coffee. Creamy, comforting, and yes, Jay, caffeinated.
And the ABV, Eric?
7.8%. This
Okay,
beer covers all the bases of a balanced breakfast. There's no better way to start the day, keep cold, and enjoy fresh. So I've been sipping on this thing for a little while as
with some eggs and bacon and a nice, some hash browns
and bacon. I thought you said, "How about you go get naked?" I'm like, what?
No. Okay, perfect stout. The perfect stout with some eggs and bacon and some hash browns.
Oh my goodness.
Jeremy, this is getting closer to Fandango Friday than we could have expected.
I know.
Anyway, so
somebody's gonna meet at the bridge here in a minute. I'm kind of scared.
Anyway, I've been sipping on this while I've been watching the panelists. So thank you, John H. Beer Henderson. And there wasn't much head to begin with on the beer. It just has this sort of amount and look to that very tan, thin line on there. Very dark. Some of the ruby red is coming out on this one. And there is a little bit of some lacing, but not a huge amount. But you can see it clinging. It's a little bit sticky around the edge of the glass. Yeah, there definitely is medium to a dark roasted kind of a coffee note. Definitely getting the lactose, and definitely getting a creamy kind of a lactic souring sort of a note. If the souring and the lactic thing is in your head, or if you experience beers that have the lactose or that are like cream stouts or sweeter milk stouts, you kind of know what I mean by that. Definitely like a toasty brown bread. Definitely some molassesy kind of notes to it. Slightly smoky, but not like bacony or like a Rauch beer or anything kind of like that.
Yeah, Rauch beer.
Yeah, but very chocolatey overall, mixed with that nice medium to dark roasted coffee. So here we go. I'm having brunch at 8:15 on a Wednesday evening.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, darling.
I'm getting a little bit of like a maple. My imagination may be getting the best of me, but probably not since it's brunch. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a cinnamony sweetness with the syrupy kind of a body to the beer. Not very syrupy, but I'd say it's a medium sort of a bodied beer overall. It's semi-sweet, so it's not extremely dry, but it's not like cloyingly sweet or anything like that. It actually is crisp. And for what this thing is, this is kind of refreshing for what it is. It definitely has a coffee roastiness and quality to it. Definitely like a melted down fudgy bar, or like a sort of like a darker chocolate fudgy kind of a cake to it. It's a little bit chewy, but nothing over the top. It's not the fullest of bodied beers. But if you've never really had full-bodied beers, this would be one to absolutely explore and try something like that. Again, a lot of coffee, a lot of the lactic kind of cream notes to it. It's actually not very acidic or like the lactic souring thing at the end, which is kind of nice. It all blends together nicely. A little bit of cinnamon, nutmeg, brown sugar, molasses, sort of kind of syrupy notes to it, and dark chocolate. I guess that's sort of where I am. It's a little bit on the smoky side, but that's coming out from the roasty notes from coffee, I'm guessing here. So far, so good. This is pretty excellent beer. It's really not too over the top in its body, so it's not really extremely imperial. So I think a lot of people could find this to be an easy, enjoyable beer to sip and drink and enjoy without it being too harsh. And again, I think people that haven't really had imperial beers, imperial stouts, or things like Baltic porters, and they might be a little bit scared to want to try beers like that. This type of a beer that I'm drinking could be a really good introduction into that. So I'm going to wait on that rating till the very end, but so far, so good on this beer. And mostly everything that I've had from the Lamplighter Brewing Company has been pretty New England, outstanding beer. So, yeah.
Eric, are all their beers only? Have they left? I should say, have they expanded past New England? Are they?
I don't think so. Unfortunately, I think they're one of those unrelatable beers to everybody else in the country.
Okay.
Stinks.
All right, now I'll read the comments.
Comments from YouTube by Jay Terrio.
Woke up this morning with a brunch beer in my hand.
Mhm.
What brunch? Who's brunch? Where the hell? All right, let's see. Thrash Metal Homebrew and Barbecue says, where are all the white women at?
Oh, me.
They're at Trader Joe's shopping. Where do you think they are?
At
Or Whole Foods, you know.
Or Whole Foods. Now, Wet Dream says, hi. Bumpy Road Brewery says, what Massachusetts beers will be going on in the world tonight? Well, you just watched it. Tacos and beers, and then Mama. Cheers, everyone. And then it says Thrush Metal. And Bumpy Road says, have you had a fully loaded Bumpy Dumpy Nut Brown Imperial? No, we haven't tried that. Drunken One says, hey, gang. Alex the Beer Master.
wow, beer right there.
I'll read this while I'm still young. Alex the Beer Master says, while I'm still middle-aged. Alex the Beer Master says, what's up, Eric? And Wet Dream said, holy. Johnny Neely, hey, guys, still working. Unfortunately, if I get home soon, I'll try to join you. We understand. Natural Father, 25-ounce can this evening, says Craig. So
Yeah,
all right. Them. Thomas Meadow says, nice cheer, guys. Cheers all. Jeremy says, wish you could make it. I sent a link to the craft beer pours, guys, on Google. Oh, yeah, you're talking about that administrator. Yep. Thomas Meadow says the juice is loose. You just mad because the juice is okay. So here, okay, just liquor. We are all watching from my live stream. Cheers, all. Oh, hey, everybody's watching. Y'all from Thrash Metal Incorporated and Heavy Brothers of Metal. Hi, Alex should join. Do you have beer? India Pale Lager. Alex has no beer to join. How are you? A beer master without beer. He says, keep playing with me and you're going to find out. And then, no, I added that. That's just from my head.
That's what I thought.
Hola. Oh, here we go with the Raism. All right. Shane says, just got home from a school board meeting. Well, that sounds like
girls are fun, I'm telling you.
Delightful drudgery. I've been to some of those.
They can get very contested. Let me tell you, very.
Oh, those are the best ones when they start really yelling and screaming. It's usually when they're sitting there saying, now we want to go through document 17C. You want to look at. All right. Gabriel says, I'm glad William Kepley is here. Hope he's getting well. He is, Gabe. And Gabe should be here. Ronnie S. says, the best beer reviewers on YouTube.
Yes, despite what that rating of folks have said. Jay, you're the best.
Yeah, I love that. I did like that article because I was like, wow, one of those guys they listed hasn't done a review in like 4 years. Okay.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That thing was so much bull. When I read it, like, what? Where is?
Hey, well, you took the clickbait.
You know, I'm interested now that we've been sipping and drinking our beers and having
With me.
jolly
All right,
old.
let's do our scores now. But
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
go.
interested.
Get into the channel, actually.
I'm interested to go to the great state of Arkansas, and has your mind has your mind in
Always push.
what the rating is yet, Jeremy?
What will happen when they push back? All right, go.
All right. Look, man, we got the date, guys.
Nice.
Canned
Good.
on 1/03 of 19 at 15:49
That was a good.
p.m. I'm thinking that's military time, though.
Okay, 2 months old, but still fresh.
Yeah.
Not really.
What did you say, Michael? 4 months?
Shane Fudge, yeah.
Hey,
Shane.
Shane, what's going on?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, no, hold on. Sorry, it gets so late. I mean, it's the last second.
Shane's
Just got
here.
in. Yeah, finally. But I know y'all about to end, so don't.
Yeah,
don't
we
leave
are.
Just because I thought I would just let you guys know I'm drinking a little snake party from Lost 40. It's a double IPA, about 10%.
Ooh.
Smooth is
right.
5%. So it's
Describe
pretty
that
dangerous. I
a
bet
little bit if you want.
Jeremy probably knows it. What's that?
That's a good one.
Describe that a little bit if you want right now.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's. It took me forever to get on here. I don't know what's going on. I had to log on and change passwords. But anyway, it's a double IPA. It's made about an hour for me down at Lost 40 Brewing in Little Rock. It's they make it year round. It was a seasonal thing, I guess, for a little while at first, and then one of the brewers decided it was his favorite beer, so he kept making it. I think it's probably one of the best double IPAs in Arkansas as far as Arkansas beers go. Very tropical. It's not a hazy bomb like what you're used to hearing about. This a little bit more West Coast, but you can see it's a little bit more cloudy than
Yeah, it is.
some of the clear beers.
Quite a bit.
Very, very tropical. Ron, or Jay, I don't know if I sent you one of these way back or not. But you may have tasted it before.
What's the name of it?
Snake Party.
Is that the
Snake
10%
Party?
one?
What's that?
Is that the 10% ABV one?
Yes, 10%.
Those are good.
Snake Party.
Yes, Lost 40 Snake Party.
It's in a green can. It's really
I
good,
think
though.
I think I did review that one.
Where are they from,
Okay.
Shane?
Little Rock.
Arkansas, y'all.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah. It was it's probably my favorite brewery in Arkansas anyway. They're
It
really
is.
knocking it out of the park with their beers. They've got several different styles, and they're doing great at all of them. And whenever they come out with a new beer, it seems like they tweak a little bit, and the next batch is like, whoa, okay, that's far better now.
Yeah.
But they've been in the business for a little while now, about 5 or 6 years, I think. And man, they're just solid. They got some really great brewers in there. I think one of the guys might have come from Treehouse originally, or one of those big breweries.
Oh, Eric's getting excited now.
They make good beers, no doubt.
For sure.
Well,
It's very tropical, though. I mean, it's got a lot of stone fruit in it. It's got, elements of, you can taste some peach, but there's a lot of grapefruit and the orange and just juicy flavors. It's definitely very smooth. You wouldn't think it's 10% until you finish one.
yeah.
You're like, okay, that was 2 beers in one can right there. Okay.
Yeah.
It's solid. You can get in real danger with it. They sell them in 4-packs.
I have done that with that beer.
Yeah.
Not
It was-
here.
What's a good?
No, I only drank 4 in a row one time.
Oh, me.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
About 8 beers you had there then, huh?
I'm telling you.
I will admit that yesterday I had to do 3 shoots of the Skull and the Skull Gold Rum, but well,
On purpose, or so you could go for more? Let's try this again here.
What kind of a rating does?
just some, technical issues due to ABV quantities.
I can imagine.
I've got to use that next time I'm talking to my wife about me drinking too much.
What kind of a rating?
technical difficulty?
What kind of a rating would you give Snake Party there, Mr. Shane Fudge?
Oh, let's see. This is definitely A+.
It is, yeah.
I would give this probably about a 98. Yeah. It's
Ooh.
a solid.
He's not
solid
joking. It's
double IPA.
It's legit, huh?
yeah, it is.
It's very
Heard live from Shane Fudge. That beer is legit if you're in the Arkansas area.
yes.
Oh,
He's not joking. Real good.
We got to go back to Arkansas the other way. Woo!
Yeah.
back to Mind Haze IPA. We did not get your rating yet.
Mind Haze IPA
Higher somewhat.
is very good, but I would give it a 93. Could be better.
But still world class.
Yeah, it's world class, but it could be better on that. So
we're in the dark over at John Henderson Pierre's household. So let's get a rating of his Dos Equis Ambar really fast.
Yeah. I said I'm giving this the Equis Ambar an A. Again, as I said, the malts really gives the beer, the roasted malts gives the beer a lot of excellent flavor. Again, a little hint of sweetness with maybe a little caramel in there, in that beer, but overall a good Vienna lager. I just wish the price was a little bit more reasonable for me to get this often, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm giving the score a 8.99. That would be an A for the Dos Equis Ambar.
Sweet. Very excellent. The Brooklyn Brown Ale from Michael Formaroff's neck of the woods.
I'm going to give it
Brooklyn Brewing Company. What's your final thoughts?
I'm going to give it a 91. So it's an A-.
Okay.
But it's a fine beer.
And
That's interesting.
What's holding you back from maybe giving it a higher rating, if anything?
Maybe it could be a little bit more full-bodied and hold the flavor a little bit better, but it's really good.
As we can see by the finished glass.
Jay, do you remember how you rated it when you did it?
I think I gave it a good score, but it's been a long time. I could look it up.
Mine's definitely an A-. I guess it's bordering on an A.
Jay Theriault was drinking the Schlitz pint can this evening. Do you have
the Gusto? Go for the Gusto.
Correct, sir. What was your rating today? Correct.
Eric's gonna find out what happens when country boys and girls are getting down on the farm. All right, now Eric.
Rating go, yeah. Woo.
Eric, I'm gonna read my written review of Snake Party real fast. This was from nearly exactly a year ago. It'll be real fast, I swear. Snake Party has, and then suddenly somebody decided, what is that, an airplane? A jet?
I don't know what that is.
I think it's raining.
That's me. Let me mute myself if I can figure this out here.
Oh, okay.
Snake Party has a medium off-white head, a hazy gold orange appearance, some bubbles, and a bit of glass lacing. The aroma is of bread dough and a touch of fruit. Taste is of strong bitterness, orange peel, orange rind, and sweet malt. This is a sugary beer. Mouthfeel is medium to heavy, and Snake Party finish is medium dry. It's kind of strange. It's so sugary, but it finished dry. But that's what I experienced. And then I signed off RJT, and I scored it in a 94.2 out of 100.
Nice. All right.
It is good.
Damn.
I
It's good.
never did a written review of Brooklyn Brown. That's how long it's been. Okay.
But
The Schlitz.
yes, the Schlitz, the Gusto. Where are you at with that beer today?
I'm in a good place. I'm giving it a 91 out of 100.
Yeah, all right. I think I'm in agreement with you on that. That is my probably favorite macro lager beer.
It's the citrus, it's that citrus note that really, and I don't like a beer that tastes like canned pineapple, but this one doesn't. It has a little hop resin and it's enjoyable. Now William's going to give a score.
Yeah, Budweiser beer. William Kepley.
I'd give this one a 88 B range.
Sounds right.
Okay.
Maybe a B plus, but the value proposition of Budweiser is not that much. So I think the regular solid B is where it fits in for me. And I've drank a lot of these adjunct lagers, and I think it's just a notch below the ones that would deserve an A rating.
Right. You're never going to see it for $4.81 a 6-pack of plain cans.
Not unless it was on a closeout at a certain grocery store, which I have seen, but regular pricing, it's more of a premium.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to shop the weekly grocery ads to see what they're going to put on sale.
Good point.
And make a note about the ratings. You know, if you view a rating as a snapshot in time, it can be subject to change. You know, depending on a lot of variables involved. I know.
But William, some people cannot grasp that concept.
To me, that's just natural to think that way. I mean, most things in life are fluid. I mean, it's not static. You know, it reminds me of back when the New York Jets with Rex Ryan was coach and quarterback was Mark Sanchez. They lost to New England 45-3 in the regular season.
Sorry, Shane.
In the playoffs, they met about 3 weeks later again in Foxborough, and the Jets beat the Patriots. Talk about a turnaround. Right. Nobody in their right mind thought they had a hell of a chance of winning that game, but they did it. Things happen. Things change. You know, you can drink a beer one day, or you can even drink the same beer, and it changes flavor profile as it warms up. So it's entirely possible that you could review those 2 beers tomorrow and get a different outcome. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised.
But I've had experiences where I've commented on other people's videos, and I said, oh, I had that beer once. And, you know, and I said, oh, I really like it. I think it's the most excellent product. And then somebody will say, well, in 2013, you reviewed it and you gave it a B+. Why is there a big difference? And I'm saying, well, that was 2013. And, you know, I mean,
people grow, change, and evolve.
Years later, I mean, I had another one. I still had it in the B+ to A- range, but it was like this person was very, very put off that I had gone from a B+ to an A.
I don't agree with that.
6-year period.
I don't think that kind of logic that somebody should be getting pissy because your ratings are getting better. Weeks ago, I forget when it was specifically, but weeks ago, John Anili had commented that my personal ratings and the numbers that I've been giving for even just the simpler kind of beers, the macro lagers and stuff like that, has actually gone up. And I'm like head over heels, like, holy crap, this is the new beer style. You all have to be drinking right. You all have to be drinking right now. No, see, but
I'm making progress.
Yes, correct. Yeah. But I totally appreciate those things. I buy them all the time. It's not like what I prefer to drink. But then again, when you look at beers in context, you will end up finding what's really good about those beers in said context and what's really not so great about those beers in said context. And when you just want a beer to drink that doesn't have much confrontation, usually you can do it in macro lagers. Now, if you're going to pay like $2.99 for a 6-pack, maybe you're getting the bottom of the barrel. So value is definitely when it comes to that style of beer. But
Eric, like,
fuzzy evolve is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you know, like, things will change. It's hard to it's hard when people say, well, in 2011 you did this. You know, it's like, okay, well, we all have different perceptions, like William was saying, of things over time.
Yeah.
Apparently,
he said even in a single day.
Apparently, at one point, Jay Terrio said, "Boys and girls getting down in the farm." And Gabriel said, "I asked, farm, are you there?" And I said, "The good old farms." No, I'm not there. The good old farms.
I did not say that. I did not say that. That is a misquote.
Anyways, got William Kepley's excellent rating of Budweiser beer. Did I rate Lamplighter brunch beer yet? I don't think so.
Not yet.
I don't want to be too generous and give it too high of ratings. However, I think if Michael Komarov starts writing down 94 out of 100, I'd be good with that.
Okay.
The best thing about this beer is that it's not really Imperial Stout. However, as I said during the review portion of the beer, that I think it would be a really good beer for somebody that hasn't tried Imperial Stouts to kind of get into it if they're a little bit nervous or afraid of trying something higher than what this is at 7.8%. They might like this beer. It's pretty syrup. It's pretty got a nice syrupy consistency to it. It's not overly sweet. It's the right sweetness level. Again, there's some syrupiness to it. There's a little bit of that maple sort of syrup flavor to it. There's that medium to full roasted dark coffee notes to it. Brown sugar, molasses, toasty brown bread. And again, for me, it's a medium body, and it's crisp and refreshing for what it is. Definitely, you could have this with your brunch. You could have this with steak. You could have this with a medium full body cigar or pipe tobacco. It would be really delicious. Alex, Beer Master is here in the building. Hello.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Alex.
What's up, William?
How you doing?
Noise, Alex.
Doing excellent.
I'm sorry you hate her. Kill that background.
You have any beers as the beer master to drink this evening?
No,
How are you a beer master without beer? Come on now.
I know, but I still drink a lot of beer.
What was the last great beer you
Particular amount. Just kill that noise, but that'll help.
had? What was the last great beer you drank recently, Alex?
They can't hear you over the
Somebody
voice.
play the Floyd album, The Wall from 1979.
Well, we'll come back to Alex even if we are off air. So, yeah, I think we got to everybody this evening. It is now dark in Mobile, Alabama. So, does anybody have
Ah,
their areas?
I'm over here. I got light, Eric. I got light.
Front porch.
Don't feel bad, y'all, because
Dark where you are.
it's just let it build. Let it build up.
Does anybody have any final thoughts, comments? to conclude?
I have a question for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who there can get Blue Point out of Patchogue, Long Island? They're an InBev company.
There's
I can. I can only get the toasted lager, the blue, whatever that is, and that's it.
the blue, whatever that is.
Okay, Jay, I take it Louisiana Blue Point doesn't make it down there or to Arkansas. William, how about in North Carolina? Have you ever seen Blue Point?
I think it's available at Total Wine.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because I was in the food co-op today, and I'm talking to the beer buyer, and she said we just picked up 150 cases of Blue Point Winter Ale, which is a red amber ale. And I said, "What'd you do that for?" Because I'm shocked. They usually don't ever buy volume. She said we were able to get it to sell it for 51 cents a bottle
What?
to the public.
Well, hello, world.
So, needless to say, I'm going to buy at least a case. But the problem is with an amber ale, I have to find times to drink it.
Right.
And I assume the pricing has to be because it's on the tail end of its. So,
Oh yeah, it's short dated.
We'll have to check the dating to see what the dating is. An amber ale is probably good for 6 months, though, I would think.
Yeah.
I'm drinking one right now.
There's an amber ale
Abitas and
from Babita.
I'm
That's
drinking
good.
one right now. After that score of the Dos Equis, I had another Vienna Lager or amber ale, a beta right now.
Well, this one is 7.7%, so it's almost like a double.
Oh yeah, that
winter.
beat
Yeah, I want that.
4.5. Well, Eric.
Yeah,
Eric,
who else has the final thought
I
of
have
the
to
evening?
go.
I thought today went fairly well. We had a lot of great panelists. We got Shane on the Wednesday nights, Thomas Metal 75 channel. Thank you, sir. We got let's see here. We got John Henderson Pierre. Screw the Yankees and screw the Giants. We
That's
got,
a giant
Hey.
football. Wait, don't say Yankees.
oh, New York. They all suck. Go Patriots.
Baseball season starts what? Tomorrow?
Oh,
Tomorrow.
We're
Yeah.
Let him enjoy the Patriots. It's downhill from here.
Uh-oh. Jeremy
Heard
Vincent.
it from me first.
Hey.
Michael Komarov, supporting the University of Delaware, I see.
That's always.
Your
Oh, yeah.
goes there, yeah. Michael Komarov, yes, in the building. Ontario, Louisiana Beer Reviews. Shane Fudge, Alex the Beer Master for the third time. Yo, what's up? Friggin' Kepley is in the building. He's in the house. That is some good friggin' news today.
Glad to be here.
Yes.
Boom. I would say cheers.
Oh, March.
But cheers to that guy. So probably next week it would be Jay. I bet you hosting, but I will figure that out and let you know.
Bet you it
Also,
won't
be aware, Stout Sunday on Sunday.
John and
I
LA.
probably
Yeah,
out of
come
that.
on.
I would say until next time, keep tasting those great beers. Cheers.
March Madness. Go
Cheers.
Carolina. Go LSU. Go Auburn.
Hey, William, how you doing, William?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. I haven't talked to you at least for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think it was on a Tuesday, 2 weeks ago on a Wednesday night, the off-air chat, I believe.